Hello and welcome to SpeedGaming. We are back for another Battle for Hyrule 2 race, and we got a big one here. This is the Premier Bracket final. The Premier Bracket is the any percent Noah base section for people who did not make the top 16 championship bracket. This is a sudden death single elimination bracket, one and done. This is one race, and the winner wins the Premier Bracket. I'm John Tabin. Joining me in the comms booth is CD Improv. How you doing, CD?
Good, thanks. And hey, John, at least we don't have to go looking for our sword.
Yeah, this is not randomized, which I know is unusual for you, but don't worry, I'm with you. We can get through it together, all the things being where they're supposed to be. So,
well, I mean, the biggest question for me is going to be, oh, look, see, we've got the divergence already. So does MrDunlo do the level where they go over to 2 first? And looks like AdirondackRick is continuing over to 3.
Correct, yeah. That's what Rick has been doing 3 first. I mean, Rick's been playing this game long enough that when he started, if there was a 2 first route at all, there was the blue ring route, and then Yunus and BT came in and came up with 2 first red candle. But Rick, a longtime veteran, you know, the idea of the Premier Bracket, at least in the first Battle for Hyrule, was it was going to be friendlier for new runners, and it worked out that way. As it happens, neither of our runners are new. Rick, in addition to being around the Z1 community for many years, both in vanilla and randomizer, is a longtime veteran of the game, and MrDunlo also been around for quite a while now and is one of the admins on the tournament. We didn't plan to have the SpeedGaming scheduling coordinator and the admin racing each other, but it's kind of nice.
I mean, it works. Oh, geez, Rick is taking a little bit of unfortunate damage against these keys in level 3.
Yeah.
Oh, and MrDunlo's got the Master Guria down.
Yeah, but he didn't get any bombs out of that, which makes...
I know, mean game.
Yeah. We want bombs in that room because next bomb is going to come from the red room. He's skipping the Moldorm's key. That's interesting. You have, on 2 first, you get, since you have the white sword, by the time you get to 3, he'll get a key that Rick's going to skip. So he could skip another one, and he chose to do the Moldorms. Probably because he didn't get bombs. That can slow down the Moldorms considerably.
Yeah, that would take a little bit longer. I mean, he did get a drum drop there. He's going to be able to pick up the free pack from the floor. And we got our first heart in the game. All right, go away, Keys. Oh, no! No!
All right, so
Rick has to go back.
Yeah. He didn't make it to the raft.
He didn't. He got halfway up the ladder, or he got close to the ladder, and that Keys just took him out. So he's got to go back in that room anyway, which I believe when people take a death in this tournament, or in a no up and A, they have to touch back in that room.
Correct. In the no up A categories, which includes this one, if you die, you have to go back. If you die in a dungeon, you have to go back to that room at some point before the end of the run. If you die in the overworld, you have to go back immediately. So the 3 first route is about a minute faster than the 2 first route, but with this death, it's already anyone's game because that's the risk of 3 first. It's faster, but it's a riskier start.
Well, I mean, we still have things like level 6 that could definitely turn everything on its head.
Yeah, I mean, level 5 is very high variance. Well, we got miles to go, and MrDunlo doesn't look like he's getting blue ring money, so he's going to do probably 2 first red candle, and he's getting the white sword now.
Well, I mean, a damage upgrade is always a benefit.
Yeah, Rick's route will not get that, so and Dunlo has not taken damage from that blue Lionel, which is by far the most common place for overworld deaths, so that's nice to be passed.
All right, Rick's going to make it to the raft. He's got it. He's going to murder all the keys on the way back out to make sure he doesn't take any more damage.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you, get out of the way.
Yeah, so Rick's going into Manhandla. There's some RNG to this fight. Ideally, he wants to just drop a bomb, have Manhandla roll into the smoke, force a bomb, and let him go. Oftentimes
Manhandla is a jerk.
Yeah, it doesn't go so smoothly, but let's hope it does, because he's already taken 1 death in 3. He doesn't need another to make it fair or anything.
Yeah, no. This is so MrDunlo's going to go ahead and start entering level 1. He's going to pirouette to open up that key door straight ahead. All right, Manhandla, be nice. Oh, so close. All right, Rick's got his Triforce out of level 3. MrDunlo's continuing on in level 1. I mean, you got to go all the way up here and find your bow.
Yeah.
Because I highly
Yeah,
doubt in a no up and A that we're going to see anybody pick up the boomerangs.
No. Let's. But later tonight, at 8 p.m. right here on SpeedGaming, we have the swordless semifinal between Antlers and Kingdoll, and you will see a boomerang in that, at least on Antler's side. Kingdoll is one of the few people who skips the boomerang in swordless usually, but should be a great set of races there.
Yeah, and the winner of that, actually, I believe, is going on to face Captain Green.
Correct.
So, I mean, it would be kind of interesting to see Captain Green and Antlers go again.
Yeah. Yeah, but right now we got this race going, so we'll talk more about that later. Dunlo has the bow, and so Rick's into level 4. On the 3-first route, we're still pretty underpowered in level 4. The game kind of expects you to have the white sword by now. There's a hint in level 3 that tells you, hey, have you been up by the waterfall? Of course, we haven't, because it's faster to go to 3 and then 4. So he's gonna do as much damage as he can with bombs. He got hit, but he got a lucky bomb and a lucky hard drop, which is a very kind mercy from the buyers there.
And this is Magical Breakfast?
Yeah, this is the breakfast room. Magical Breakfast is in level 6.
Alright, we're getting there.
Darkwing Duck called this the breakfast room because he said the way he told the story, someone in his chat said this room should have a name because it's so important to the speedrun. Because he would reset a lot in this room, and he said that's silly. I'll give it the silliest name I could think of. Well, it's filled with pancakes and it's filled with pancakes and jelly, so let's call it the breakfast room. And of course, it's stuck for the next decade plus. And then Lack Attack called the ones with the like rooms with wizards and the magical breakfast rooms in 6.
Now, I have to say, if a wizrobe came flying out of my breakfast, I think I'd be a little bit concerned about the chef.
Yep.
All right, MrDunlo's gonna find 3 or enter 3.
Yeah. So Dunlo, since he has the white sword, he's going to be able to do some stuff that Rick couldn't. You'll see him kill some Zols to get a key in this diagonal. Meanwhile, Rick, getting what we call the error key, because error 72 added it to the route. It's in addition to being faster than the key that used to be on the route, it gives him a chance to kill those keys and set up a bomb force and bomb these Vyres on this nice pattern. So he gets his bomb force there. Vyres did not give him a drop, so he'll have to do the Gleeok fight with no beams. It's 10 hits on the first head and 6 on the second to kill Gleeok with the wood sword, so not trivial, but it's pretty fair and learnable.
And you know what I didn't know until I started watching this? That there can only be one fireball.
Yes.
Because I'm too used to randomizer, where you're just going, everything's random, and you think there's possible to have another. Rick does a good job taking out the Gleeok. He's going to have his Triforce and be on his way.
Yeah, and there are a lot of things that running vanilla will make you better at randomizer because you'll learn things that you kind of overlooked, and doing randomizer will make you better at vanilla because it forces you into those weird situations and you get more used to the combat. So definitely always encourage crossover between the Z1 communities.
Will that sword hit on Zora? That won't affect Rick's count, right? Because it doesn't actually kill the Zora.
Well, it didn't kill him, so no, yeah.
Okay, so it has to actually, because I know that shooting the old man or stabbing the old man or hitting him with a boomerang will increase your count, even though he doesn't die.
Yeah, the red Gleeok head and the core of Manhandler, which you're seeing MrDunlo go in to increment the count every frame. They hit something, which is how this bomb force works. Dunlo gets the bomb on the second try. I'm not sure why we have Rick frozen. I assumed it was just stopped to sync, but it's been a while.
Yeah. Oh, there we got a little bit of movement. This could actually just be internet issues or
maybe
issues. Here we go. We've got Rick in level 1, so it looks like we're picking the stream back up.
Yeah. So so you're asking about the count. So the way the counts work is every time you hear the kill sound, that increments the consecutive count, which we use to force bombs on 10, or force rupees for that matter on 10, depending on how you kill the 10th enemy, or force fairies on 16, which has slightly different rules, but similar idea. The global counter, which controls which random drops have a chance to fall on which kills, are incremented a little bit later than the consecutive. It'll be when that little spark when the enemy dies ends. So you can actually advance the consecutive, but not the global, if you transition a screen right after a kill or something like that.
Oh, okay. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Now we're being told in the background that it looks like this is a little bit of internet issue on Rick's side. So hopefully his ISP stops being an idiot and fixes it here.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently we're. Yeah, our restreamer's telling us to see the slideshow on his own channel. Unfortunately, hopefully that sorts itself. But we
Well,
can
I
see.
mean,
Picking
sorry,
back
go
up,
ahead.
we can see Rick's finishing off one. Now, Dunlo heading into the breakfast room now. He has a little more health and the white
Added
sword.
bonus, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
just being able to hit the Zol once and it's dead is really, really nice. He's gonna be able to pick up the heart, have beam swords,
yeah.
and then hug
Oh,
a pancake.
yeah. Briefly, but yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can use white sword to go almost as fast as bombs if you don't have any bombs. So, but he got 2 bomb drops in the NSU, so there's no reason to not bomb.
All right,
Okay,
so Rick is headed to.
Rick is most likely headed to level 5. He's been doing the blue candle route this tournament, which is an older route where we get, and he has 34 rupees, so that seems to be what he has in mind. Although he is low on bombs for this route. I don't know, maybe he'll go 2 before 5.
Yeah, I think the last race of his, I was on, well, not last race of his, but I was on a race of his with Captain Green, and he actually was able to change up the route a little bit, kind of right in the middle, because he knew that he had to kind of change
Yeah,
plans a bit.
yeah. If your primary route is 527, you usually need to know some backups. It helps to know backups if your primary route is 257 as well. But yeah, if he doesn't have bombs to go into level 5, he'll have to go to level 2, and there are a couple of ways to handle that, and hopefully we'll get to see.
Yeah, we've got MrDunlo, meanwhile, going into the Gleeok fight with the white sword and beams at the same time. So he is
Yeah,
done in 4 on his way out the door. Damageless
yeah,
fight.
yeah. So that's only 8 hits instead of the 16 with the wood sword. So he's cashed in the advantage of the extra pickup there, the extra walking on the 2 first route.
Yeah, I mean, that does, I guess it is definitely a trade-off, but it's kind of nice at that Gleeok fight. Like, here you go. It's half the time. We're done.
Like Rick's stream's rewound a bit.
Yeah, our restreamer in the background is saying that it lost connection
Oh
for
yeah,
just a minute, and sometimes when it does, Twitch will actually play like the last so many seconds of the stream before it cut off.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not seeing him online right now, but hopefully that's just on my end.
Yeah, no, that looks to be probably the point where it's going to cut off.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we had a world rep from MrDunlo. He is headed to, I think he's going to go get the heart off of the Takenny.
Uh, yeah. So we need 12 hearts for the magical sword, and you could skip it, but for humans, it's faster to get it. So we don't have Tasses playing. We're gonna route it in.
I mean, how else would they do ladder clip in a Chevy room?
Mhm.
I happen to love this screen scroll just because it saves you so much time.
Oh, into the
Right into the
forest?
Armos. Yeah, right into the forest from the coast. Because then instead of having to walk up and around, you can just be like, "Here, I'm taking a shortcut."
Yeah.
Now, MrDunlo's going to pick up. Is it a large secret up here in Casino Corner?
Yep. Yep. This 100 secret and this will be all the money he needs. He has 140 for his meat and arrows, and also plenty of extra money for ammunition. Unless he's doing blue candle route, but most people do red on 2 first with no blue ring, so I assume that's what he's going for.
Yeah, because this being vanilla, he still has to buy arrows, and he's going to have to get bait. All right, so we're heading in the direction of 5. Now, someone explained to me that it is faster to go in the door underneath the Armos instead of walking into the cave because of the position it puts you in when it puts you out of the dungeon.
Yeah, yeah. So when you go into a cave, there's a little animation of Link going down the stairs that takes like a quarter of a second and or so, and but it also kind of remembers that at the end of the dungeon. So if you go in through the Armos, you'll just appear after the Triforce fanfare instead of walking back up. You see Link walking back up, so it saves a little bit of time both coming in and coming out. In this case, it's also closer because you're scrolling in that way. But even coming in glitchless from the bottom, it's a little bit faster.
All right, that's kind of cool. Hey, looks like we've got a little bit of Rick back here. He is entering 5.
Yeah.
Now, we did hear from our restreamer in the background there might be a little bit of a problem resyncing the timers if, we either can't see it or it got paused.
Yeah, I expect his timer's been running because it looks about right. And we don't know what happened while he was offline. He has 150 rupees and bombs. He might have beaten level 2 while he was offline. He might have also gone somewhere else.
His money, picked up the money from Casino Corner as well.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if he has the right number of heart containers for. We see Rick is going into what we call the penalty box because he didn't have his count high enough, or he wanted in the recorder room, and so he got some extra counts on keys. You saw MrDunlo do the same thing. It's not because it's part of the route. They both wanted to fix their counts. It's a backup.
Now, this is the room with the... is this the staircase to the recorder or the recorder?
It's the recorder, and it is the highest variance room in the run. You can easily lose or gain a minute here.
Yeah, it looks like Rick got a really good bomb on that cluster of darknets, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that fairy is definitely welcome.
Rick must have gone to level 2, I think, based on his heart container count. Unless I'm missing something, which I might be. But I think they're roughly synced, except for Rick needs to get the other 2 heart containers, which Dunlo got on the world route.
Okay. Alright, so Rick picks up his recorder, which means he can get into level 7. Very helpful.
With the caveat that Rick's screen might be out of sync, but
yeah,
we'll go by the race room regardless. But they have both completed. They both completed 3, 4, 1, and half of 5 definitely, and Dunlo's done 2, and I think Rick might have also.
I mean, it's relatively quick, so there is a good chance by the time the stream was down that he could have gotten that in. But we'll know when he leaves here. Eventually, he starts walking into the forest. MrDunlo is going to take out the Dig Dogger. In 5, he has his Triforce and his recorder, and he's on his way out the door. Now, where are we whistling to, John?
So, I wonder why he's in. When he whistled a 3. Usually we whistled a 4 at this point to get to shopping, but he may just not have wanted to bother with that screen scroll, or he may have something else in mind. But at any rate, he's gonna go shop before he goes to level 7.
Okay.
Get the. I guess he's gonna do meat first. Coming from the. We usually get the meat and then the arrows, but that's because we're coming from the right. In terms of perfect, like the walking the minimum number of tiles, it's actually faster to do it the other way around if you're coming from the Deadwoods, although I don't think that's well known because there just aren't that many routes that do that.
Oh dear. So Dig Dogger does not quite cooperate here for Rick. He's only got the 1 Dig Dogger pup remaining.
Oh, did he have Okay, he gets through it.
I think he just, I don't know if he just had the one bomb when he got there, or...
Yeah, he must have. He has 0 left, which could be an issue going forward. If he has done level 2. If he has done level 2 already, it is an issue. If he hasn't, then it's not a problem at all.
Yeah,
So
I was about to say, don't runners normally fish for bombs off the blue Octoroks over near 2?
No.
Alright, MrDunlo's gonna enter level 7.
It looks like Rick's going to 7, so he's going to need to solve his bomb problem somehow, because we've got 5 walls and a triple dig dogger in 7, so we usually remember we need 7 bombs for 7. And there are some backups, because there are some rooms you can clear. So he has a few options. He could clear some rooms inside 7, he could buy bombs, or he may save the bombs for arrows. There are a few combinations of different ways he could approach this. We'll see what he does. Meanwhile, Dunlo... through level 7, that river room is about the last place his white sword helps very much, but he'll be getting magical sword next. After he gets the 12th art container.
Now with that extra 20 rupees, there's a really good chance that Rick could just turn right back around and grab a bomb pack.
And that's what he's doing.
Okay, MrDunlo is through the bait block. Alright, but we do have to make a stop. Both of our runners have to make a stop to get the red candle, because that's how you get your candle in both of these runs, instead of buying it on the overworld.
Yeah. There are other routes where you buy the blue candle, but you need some candle, because level 8 is required and it's under a bush. So, Dunlo getting the red candle.
Nice emote, John.
Thanks.
It's okay. I have a wholly appropriate one for level 6 coming up. Oh, the dig dogger's not going to cooperate for MrDunlo. He does get 2 of the pups dead, which, upon re-entering the room, will count as a boss kill. Yeah, I'd be so worried about this one.
But
the grabby hands coming out of the wall, and if you don't have arrow money, then I would be a little concerned.
Yeah, it's a tricky room, and the red candle is what messes up on blue candles. And if you skip the red candle, they spawn on the inside of the reverse C, so sometimes you can easily get through it without menuing. When you get the red candle, the bubbles are all around the C like that, so you have to either hug the left wall, or else go to a sub weapon, either arrows or red candle, to move right as you're taking the wall masters down. And there's some interesting trade-offs between those two strats. It kind of depends what the bubbles do, which one ends up being better. Now Rick down to 2 hearts. Each of these Korea boomerangs do a full heart of damage, so he's in a little bit of trouble here.
Oh no. He got a bomb refill, so we got a bomb drop, but at the same time, he had picked up a heart, and then they hit him for another full heart worth of damage. So he is on definite beep strats right now.
Oh, I was going to say, if he can get to that door, he can maybe get a drop from Dig Dogger, but unfortunately he takes a death.
Alright, meanwhile, MrDunlo's going to go get his magical sword. There are just far too many boomerangs in this level 7.
Yeah, and if Rick doesn't get some lucky health drop, he's going to be he could be in trouble, because he can only take 1 boomerang now, and he'll be dead, so... I mean, he can't take 1 boomerang. He's 1 heart.
Yeah.
So if one of these blue gorillas could throw him a fairy, it would be nice. But that's going to happen.
You're expecting the game to be nice?
Well, it was just nice to Dunlo. He pops off his
Well,
bombs
okay,
on the
very
way
true.
into 6.
Oh no, we didn't even get this game.
Oh.
All right, Rick's gonna head back
Yeah.
to the beginning of 7.
Yeah. Oh, he's retrying. That's interesting. I don't think he has a save. Did he? He's not forfeited in the race room, but that's it does not seem like he's gonna try to finish the run. Maybe he'll try to fix the stream. But regardless, Dunlo making his way through 6. We got, as we mentioned, these are the magical breakfast rooms. He's through the first one.
Now there's a total of how many?
2 magical breakfast rooms. We're not getting the magical rods, so it's 90%, so we don't have to go up there.
Well, at least that's a bonus. All right, we're gonna get a bomb drop off the fires. Good bomb and a force at the same. I think a force from MrDunlo.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Either a force or a global, but it was the perfect time to get a bomb.
Now, if you do want to see someone get the wand, stick around. In about 35 minutes, Antlers and Kingdoll will have their swordless semifinal match. That will, and the wand's pretty important in that one.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a different run to watch, just because I'm not used to it ending up on, we let Ganon win.
Yeah, but it's also because you can't kill Ganon without the sword. You don't need the silver arrows, but you do need the wand. So actually 6 is arguably harder than 9 in that run, which is not true in any other category. Dunlo's kills Goma, and he's out. He will be heading to level 8 next. And AdirondackRick has forfeited in the race room. MrDunlo still has to finish it out in order to be crowned premier bracket winner.
I mean, I can't say that I don't understand this one. Like, Rick, when he walked into that, we didn't even get to see the Korea's spawn. The last
Yeah,
time
I
we
mean,
loaded him.
It's not just that the run was going badly, like I'm sure, but the stream messing up at the same time has to
Definitely rattle you a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get a safety potion.
Dunlo actually, he hasn't done 8 yet. He's getting an early safety potion, which is sensible. Well,
so he's gonna whistle to 2.
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of makes sense.
So, question chat: what happened in 6 to Rick? So his stream was having trouble throughout, throughout the middle of the race, and then he took 2 deaths in 7, and he forfeited. Unfortunately, I'm sure if the only problem had been the gameplay, he would have tried to keep going, but with the technical issues going in the background, I don't blame him for throwing in the towel.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard from a couple of vanilla runners that it's an interesting adjustment, but it's an adjustment going from being able to reset a run that isn't going quite the way you want, and then having to continue it in a race situation.
Yeah, racing is very different from PB attempts in that sense.
Unless you're Antlers and somehow get a PB in a race.
Yeah, so Antlers has entered every category, and so his PBs aren't super optimized, and he's so good that he keeps lowering his times during races.
Yeah, he is amazing at this video game. I mean, everybody in this tournament really is. It takes a whole different level of patience to be able to do vanilla runs. MrDunlo gets a fairy in the corner when the Blue Dark Nuts remember that they do in fact belong to the health dropping group. Now, is he going to try for a bomb drop here, or is there a key in? There we go.
Yeah, there's a static bomb in that staircase if he clears the whole room, but he got a lucky bomb, so he got what he wanted and he's out. Then he will fight Gleok and then head on to level 9.
I mean, this is definitely much nicer. We got more health. We've got a magical sword as opposed to the white sword.
And that's why he's going to skip that. Well, he got that heart container for safety, but often it's skipped.
I mean, I'm all for safety.
Yeah,
Or it's just a stroke percentage.
I mean, it's the same reason he got the potion. Dunlo knows that Rick already forfeited. He just needs to get through this alive. And a death in 9 is really hard to come back from, so having two charges of potion and an extra heart container makes it more comfortable.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, especially since we have to go through a bunch of whiz robes, double patras. You have to. The one where you guys clip into the staircase through the patra. I don't think I could do that like ever. And the fact that there are people who have done it damageless.
Yes, and we'll see Antlers in the Swordless match coming up is the king of damageless, and he's new to Swordless, but he's in the semifinals because it turns out that not getting hit is really good training for keeping your count in Swordless.
Well, it works out that he's facing Captain Green, one of the first damageless runs I've seen. He took it all the way to Ganon and then got pegged by a fireball.
Oh yeah, I forgot how deep he got in that, and I remember
he got so close.
Saying, yeah, Antlers has gotten 2/3 of the way through a both quest damageless run, which no one's ever done.
Gosh.
But he can do first quest damageless so consistently now that it's like one of the goals he's been going for.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, we're gonna say hi to the peaceful little red moldworms, landmows. Sorry.
Yeah, the landmills and the moldworms switch personalities in the sequels, but
I know, that's actually like my least favorite in Z3.
Yeah, but in this one, the moldworms are slow and the landmills are fast.
Oh gosh, this room. Alright, Patra number 1.
Got a tough Patra pattern of the Patra moving left, but he gets through it with only one bop.
And again, he's got extra heart, he's got the potion.
MrDunlo also, he hadn't done vanilla in a while before the tournament, and he entered this section and swordless, and in the course of his swordless grind while practicing for the tournament and also trying to lower his PB, he got his sub 40 in swordless, which is a nice milestone.
That's awesome.
Unless he dies and forfeits and we need to rerun on it, which wouldn't be the worst outcome, to be honest, he's going to be the premier bracket winner here. But I think he's going to do it.
I mean, I feel like I need to knock on the table right now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we just have to clip in. Well, alright, Patra's like, no, so it looks like we're gonna murder Patra instead.
Yeah, if Patra moves down like that, you can get the clip first try every time, but if he moves down and you miss it even once, it's kind of, you just have to kill him, or stab him until he's out of the way.
Yeah, MrDunlo goes ahead, picks up the key and the $5, so we have a little bit of extra arrow money.
Yeah, the key doesn't really do much for him. There is an alternate route, but it takes 2 keys. I think he just grabbed that because he was in the corner there. But killing Patra too on the way in actually does help on the way out. He won't have to worry about skipping it after this. All right,
yeah,
he's got one guy here. He's taking him down, and he will have his silver arrows.
Now we're doing pretty good on health. We've had, I think, like a heart drop somewhere in the middle of this.
And he still has his potion, and he's maybe 2 minutes and change from Ganon, at most.
Nice reverse clip into the staircase. Oh, pancakes! Come on.
Yep. Yeah, that room is tricky to get through without getting harassed like that. So Dunlo does not have any bombs left for combat because he has one more wall, so he has to sword down all these wizards, which isn't too bad. Although bombs can help in this room.
I was about to say maybe we'll get lucky, but the oranges are already dead. Oh, man. One of those things I'll never get used to with blue wizrobes or even orange wizrobes. You're just going, please let me off the screen before this guy ends up shooting me.
Alright, so Dunlo into Patra 3, final enemy before Ganon. Being careful. I assume he's going to potion before Ganon.
Yeah, that would make sense, I think. Because you don't want to take a pile driver at this point.
Yeah, a Ganon Hug does 4 hearts of damage, so he could try to do it, but he might potion if he gets Fireball, because he has it out.
Really nice fight. Alright, guys. Mr. Dunlo is going to finish in first place with an official race time GG time of 36:46.
Oh, I marked him done and the sound went off. I think that was my fault.
It's okay. It's gonna have switched. It'll have switched back to. It should be on the opening lobby sound.
Oh, don't get to hear the.
It's alright, guys. We're gonna hopefully see if either Mr. Dunlo or AdirondackRick want to come in for words in just a moment. Welcome and GG's to Mr. Dunlo.
Hello, Mr. Dunlo. You are the winner of the Premier Bracket. GG.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, everybody. How we doing tonight?
Doing good. Unfortunately, Rick had some technical difficulties during the race. He was a slideshow for a while, and then he took a death in 7, and then went back into 7 and died in the same room, and then forfeited. Which was hey Rick, sorry about how that went. I imagine the technical issues had to be stressful. But GG anyway, Rick.
Well, let's just put it this way. This was not one of my finer showings.
Yeah.
So, it all began, unfortunately, with the rough start there with the Dark Nuts in 3, deciding to give me a free pass back to start. Well, they started it, the Keys ended it. And then, midway through level 1, I start hearing the great chimes of OBS disconnecting, reconnecting, OBS disconnecting, reconnecting.
Yeah, that's never easy.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah.
That's rough. I have been a curse for opponents in this Premier Bracket. That's the only reason I won the thing. I think if you line up every person I played, they had their biggest disaster while I was in the other little box. So I don't know. I should have cashed that luck in on a lottery ticket or something. It's been bizarre.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's the nature of sudden death one and done races. It's Z1. Things can go wild in one race, and since it's not best of 3, because we wanted the idea was best of 3 would be like the reward for the top the championship bracket players. So, so you know, there is a lot of there is more luck and variance in the premier bracket races for sure. So,
Yeah, the best of one is fun. That's why I when I started getting ready for this thing, I was looking at like how I do in level 6 and level 8, and I was like, I think I'm about ready to play 3 first here. And then when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that would be dumb to start literally now. So I just kind of go over to level 2, get my hearts, get my extra sword, and just hope something bad happens to the other person, and it has worked out somehow.
yeah, and when Rick took that death in 3, I was actually thinking, oh, this is actually kind of great because the 3 first route is about 65 seconds faster than the 2 first route. If he takes a death in 3, and it'll be a close race after that, and it was. You guys were in 5 at the same time. Now, Rick, you did 2? You did 2 before 5.
Yeah.
You've done 5-2-7 in other races, so was that a just on the fly resource?
That was
decision?
I only have 2 bombs remaining, so I have to.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
go into level 5 with only 1 bomb. That's just asking for absolute terror.
Right, and I figured that was happening, but when you were getting Heart Rock is when your stream first froze, so we kind of had to guess. But I sort of inferred that you must have done 2 while we couldn't see you, so you guys were in the so you guys had both done 2, 3, 4, and 1, and were in 5 at the same time, and you were in your recorder rooms were right next to each other. So it was actually a close race till then, until what happened in 7.
At the point that we had gotten me reconnected, and I was getting back to the 100 on the top right corner, at that point it was like I already knew that this is not going my way. And then what really cemented it was the 5er that the blue Dark Knight dropped. I lost my count somewhere. I don't know where I lost it, but I lost my count somewhere.
Yeah, that's the worst. I did that as well, but I did it in level 1, I think, which is a much more forgiving place to make that mistake. I think the Stalfos hugging the key must have been number 10 or something. But yeah, much rougher if it happens in 5 for sure.
Yeah, and then what wound up happening after that is just nothing wanted to give me bombs. The dongos went the wrong way, which is the first time that's happened in any of these runs for me. Then the Darkness didn't want to help me out. The Gibbs just didn't want to help me out, so I had to deal with the Dig Dogger by sorting it down with 8 wood swords. And I already know at this point in time that I'm losing a lot of time. And then it just keeps crashing on me. It keeps crashing on me. And then level 7 happened. And like at that point in time, I had intended to continue on, but then retry. All right, we're done. We're done.
Oh, did you hit retry by accident?
So bad.
I hit retry by accident. At that point in time, I glanced at the restream. He's heading to 6. Yep, we're done. Thank you.
Oh man, I saw you hit retry, and I was like, that's interesting. And I looked at the race room, and you hadn't forfeited yet, so I was like, if you hit it by accident, that does explain how what was going on there, because it was.
And then I'm fighting my internet to hit the forfeit button at that point, so it's just a mixture of everything. It really is just the showcase of what can go wrong as a streamer when you really don't want things to go wrong. And unfortunately, it happened here in a race that mattered as much as it did. And congratulations to MrDunlo. I wish I could have given you a better run for your money there, because 36:46 would have been definitely a time I could have put up in this thing, but once I had to go to the point of me having to redo this entire thing, it was like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense because when you quit, I was like, oh man, he's either really frustrated or because you and I have both done enough races that sometimes you gotta work yourself out of a deficit. But yeah, that's a 20-minute deficit in no up A. But I think we should do off the books sometime when we both have an hour. We'll roll a Z1R ROM where we change no settings except the sprites and we'll do our custom sprites and we'll do a vanilla race for bragging
Turtle
rights.
versus Gorilla. Let's go.
Yeah. Because
Yay!
I'm intending to take one of my children's toy wrestling belts, and by my children's I mean mine, and I'm gonna put some sort of sticker on it that says Premier Bracket Champion, so we can battle for the belt at some point down the line.
That makes me feel better. Not necessarily, oh, we have a chance to win the belt, but more just the humor behind all of this.
Hey, if I ship you that title belt, it feel pretty good, man. I'm just saying, we'll work it out.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, well,
All right.
that stinks, dude. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I did, and my recorder situation was intentional, but I pushed one wrong button. I don't know if y'all were speculating, like, why is he going to one?
Mhm.
I just figured with Rick having tapped out already, I was like, why don't we take a potion in the level 8 too, instead of just 9? I thought about that. That's a minimal time addition. I should have done that in other races with a lead, honestly. Like, why not? So I finally actually did it tonight.
And it makes sense because at that point in time, just finish the run off. That's pretty much what you're trying to do. You're showcasing the run at that point in time, and the idea is to get yourself to the finish line. But, I obviously have a lot of respect for you, and we're in the Premier Bracket Finals. It's going to be a rough go, and this turned out to be a rough go for me, just like it was in my qualifiers. And I can't make it too many excuses, except it's very difficult when you are a runner of a game. And I think all 4 of us, because we have streamed many, many times over the course of our days here on Twitch, when you hear that sound of disconnect and then reconnect and disconnect and reconnect and disconnect and reconnect, it gets a little tough to focus on the game.
Yeah, for sure, man. That stinks. The technology is the worst part of this whole thing. Like,
It is.
if 30, 40 years ago, you could only play against 4 kids in your neighborhood, but you knew your biggest problem was going to be like somebody's getting mad you played too long. But now we got to battle the tech thing to build the community we have. So yeah, that stinks, man. But yeah, that's because we will do some matchup of some sort at some point because you and I haven't tangled enough in meaningful head-to-head races over the years somehow. I was thinking about that today. Like, we've been in a lot of big ones together, but we haven't had a lot of primetime matchups. So we'll do something fun at some point, man.
Yeah. I knew we had to get going because we do have the next race coming up here at the top of the hour, but I'm down for that at some point in time. And John Tabin, thank you so much for putting this together with Yumi, and I know Just Andy helped out as well, and the rest of the crew over there in the Z1 server.
And MrDunlo for don't downplay yourself. He's been
I lurk in the sewers. It's all good, but yeah, that's all I was gonna say as well. GG's Rick. This has been a fun tournament. I've enjoyed dipping my toes back into vanilla, and I'm gonna continue to stay involved outside of playing. And CD, thanks for jumping in on comms. John, thanks as usual for being the backbone of this tournament, holding the thing together. Restreamers, SpeedGaming, all y'all, thanks for making this thing happen.
It's our pleasure, and GG's.
Yep. So 11 minutes from now, we will have the swordless semifinal between Antlers and Kingdoll. Should be great. That's a best of 3. It should be some great swordless Z1 races coming up.
Oh,
so
right. I have to use that button.
Yeah, so get a snack and a drink and come right back, and we will see you in 10 minutes.